Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita, Ranita, Jaya Gauranita. Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Bhagavata, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Radha Vallabha Radha Vallabha Shri Radhe. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Grandharaj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mohan Milgi Prabhu, for your lovely kirtan. We are hearing after a long time. Prabhu has traveled from Perth or from India. Wow, Hari Bol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udhiraye Srinvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Hridantasto hi abhadrani vidhunoti suhutsatam nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttamasloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki. By regular attendance in classes on Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, whose praise with transcendental songs is established as an irrevocable fact. So today, we are going to discuss Canto 8, Withdrawal of the Cosmic Creations, Chapter 22, Bali Maharaj surrenders his life, text 34. And we'll read 34, 35, and 36. With that, we complete the chapter. Natvam abhibhavishanti. Natvam abhibhavishanti. Lokesa kim utapare. Lokesa kim utapare. Tvakchasa atigan daityams. Tvakchasan atigas daityams. Chakram me sudhayisyati. Chakram me sudhayisyati. Natvam abhibhavishanti. Lokesha kim utapare. Tvakchasanatigan daityams. Chakram me sudayasyati. Natvam abhibhavishanti. Lokesha kim utapare. Acha me sudayasyati. Natvam abhibhavishanti. Lokesha kim utapare. Tvakchasanatigan daityams. Chakram me sudhayisyati. Natvam abhibhavishanti. Lokesha kim utapare. Tvakchasanatigan daityams. Chakram me sudasyati. Natvam abhibhavishanti. Lokesha kim utapare. Tvakchasanatigan daityam. Chakram me sudayasyati. Word to word meaning by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Na, not. Tvam, unto you. Abhibhavishanti, will be able to conquer. Loka Isha, the predominant deities of the various planets. Kim uta apare, what to speak of ordinary people. Tvatshasana atigan, who transgress your rulings. Daityan, such demons. Chakram, disc, me, my. Sudhaisyati, will kill. On the planet Sutala, not even the predominant deities of other planets, what to speak of ordinary people, will be able to conquer you. As for the demons are concerned, if they transgress your rule, my disc will kill them. There is no purport. We take the next verse. O great hero, I shall always be with you and gives you protection in all respects, along with your associates and paraphernalia. Moreover, you will always be able to see me there. No purport. 36. Tatra dhanava daityanam sangate bhava asuraha drustva mad anubhavam vai sadhya kunto vinakshati. Translation. Because there you will see my supreme prowess, your materialistic ideas and anxieties that have arisen from your association with the demons and Danavas will immediately be vanquished. Purport. The Lord assured Bali Maharaj of all protection, and finally the Lord assured him of protection from the effects of bad association with the demons. Bali Maharaj certainly became an exalted devotee, but he was somewhat anxious because his association was not purely devotional. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, therefore, assured him that his demoniac mentality would be annihilated. In other words, by the association of devotees, the demoniac mentality is vanquished. Prabhupada quotes Bhagavatam verse 3.25. Satam prasangan mama virya samvido bhavanti hrutkarna rasayana katam. When a demon associates with devotees engaged in glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he gradually becomes a pure devotee. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 8th Canto, 22nd chapter of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, entitled Bali Maharaj surrenders his life. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has the form of Satchitananda Vigraha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Him who turned the dumb into eloquent speakers and enables the lame to cross mountains. Such is the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. On the planet Sutala, not even the predominant deities of other planets, what to speak of ordinary people, will be able to conquer you. As for the demons are concerned, if they transgress your rule, my disc will kill them. Thank you all for attending today's Bhagavatam session, especially those who have traveled far and wide. Some have traveled from overseas and some have traveled from other parts of Australia. Welcome to the auspicious day of Rath Yatra in Melbourne. And thank you for giving us your exalted association to us. And that's what is the conclusion of this chapter, where is said that Bali Maharaj, do not worry that you are an association of devotee, and therefore whatever anarthas or whatever demonic qualities you think you have, that will become purified. And this is our journey in Krishna consciousness. And I'm sure all of us have come to Krishna consciousness or have taken up to Krishna consciousness because of the mercy of a devotee. And I can tell my own journey, which I had shared earlier also, that I come from a place called Hyderabad in south of India, and the Radha Madan Mohan temple happens to be about 2.5 kilometers from where I stay. And every day morning, I would take my son and daughter to drop them in the school. And I have to travel onto the road called Abbots. I'm not sure if anyone is from Hyderabad. So you have to travel on Abbots. On the left side of the Abbots, when you're moving towards what you call Nampally station, the left side is the Radha Madan Mohan temple gate. And exactly opposite to that is the lane which takes my children to the school. So long I was in Hyderabad, I never took a left turn. Although, whenever I take the right turn, I can see on the left side the huge board, Radha Madan Mohan Temple. But I never took the left turn. I always took the right turn to drop my son in his school and daughter in her school. And it's only the left turn took place once my sister spoke about Hare Krishna. She stays here in Melbourne. She spoke about ISKCON, and that's how we became members of Radha Madan Mohan Temple. But because as members we were given the opportunity to attend festivals bypassing the queue, so it's only on Janmashtami when we receive an invitation, we would bypass the queue and attend Janmashtami and come back. So even then also never took the left turn, it was always the right turn. And truly the right turn took place only after coming to Melbourne Mahaprabhu Mandir. It's here our journey started in 1997, and it's been a long time. It's 3 years there and 5 years here, 28 years. And if I'm sitting here and trying to say a few words, it's only because of the mercy of devotees and their association. Otherwise, I was attracted to Melbourne, I was attracted to Australia, seeing the cricket matches in Hyderabad. You know, in those days we used to watch the cricket match, and the green stadiums and the way the matches were played, that attracted me. And to live in a place where you find so-called better air, better water, better electricity, better gas, no pollution. But after reaching here, I never went to cricket stadium, not even once so far. And as Prabhupada says, the same pollution exists everywhere. What is that? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. Birth, death, old age and disease. So therefore, if I'm going to travel some places, it doesn't mean that there's something different there. On one level, maybe there is some difference you can see, but on the higher level, it's the same Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. And it's the association which gives us an opportunity to transgress the Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. And for that, we are eternally grateful to Srila Prabhupada, who brought to us the lineage, and therefore we are here morning, Sunday morning, 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock to discuss Krishna Katha, because we value more this aspect of life than the other aspect of the life for which I had traveled thousands of kilometers to stay in Melbourne. This is a wonderful pastime of Bali Maharaj, which gives us hope and inspiration how an exalted devotee surrenders to the Supreme Lord. And equally how Lord reciprocates with that surrender. Because we can't imitate Bali Maharaj. So therefore we have in Sanskrit Anukarana, Anusarana. We can't imitate, but we can only follow Anukarana. We can't do Anusarana, we can't imitate. Here is an ideal example who stands in front of us. Such we have many examples in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. And so therefore, that should inspire us to remain steady on the path of Krishna consciousness. So one day, it becomes, or when we are tested, or we are being tested and passing through ups and downs of life, we can see the hope in hearing the pastimes like Bali Maharaj. And what is that Bali Maharaj received for this surrender he has done to Lord Trivikram? Prabhupada says in the translation, not even the predominating deities of other planets, not even predominating deities of other planets can touch. Why is that is being said, predominating deities of other planets? We talk of war only between two countries, or between two places, or between two brothers and siblings. That's the state in which we are. In fact, the other day I was shocked to see or read a small news item which said that the siblings were fighting over the dead body of their father for cremation. And finally, they decided to slice the dead body of the father so that each one can cremate his own part. That's the level to which we have degenerated in our consciousness, although we claim to say that we have advanced in, or we are advanced so much materially. And so therefore, we do not hear to wise people, we do not hear to elderly people. Hearing to wise people, hearing to elderly people is the descending process. Whereas the modern generation, the current generation is influenced by the Darwin's theory, thinking that the later generation is more advanced than the previous generation, because it follows the theory of evolution. My father does not know as much as I know, and my son thinks that, well, he knows better than me. This is the modern way of thinking because of the influence of the Darwin's theory. But the ancient way of thinking is that my father knows much better than me, and my grandfather knows even better than my father. And therefore, we receive the instruction in a disciplic succession from up higher, and therefore we tend to follow and then gain in our consciousness and move forward on this wonderful journey of Krishna consciousness. So here, not even the predominating deities of other planets can conquer you. So here we find the war taking place between maybe Ukraine and Russia, or between Gaza Strip, some part against Israel, and so on. And these wars are considered to be very insignificant, tiny wars when we compare to the wars which are mentioned in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam or Vedic literature, predominating the other planets. So in those days, we find that the predominating means the ruler of that place, one country, could attack the ruler of not just a country on this planet, but on the other planet itself. So we find that people like Hiranyakashipu living in one part of the universe, attacking Indra and other rulers, the other part of the universe. Or if you look at Ravana, one part of the universe, trying to fight with the rulers of other parts of the universe, including Kubera and others. Kubera, I believe, had to run away, leaving his planet at the onslaught of Ravana. So therefore we find here, Lord is assuring Bali Maharaj, forget about anyone conquering you. Even the predominating deities of the other countries or other planets cannot touch on you, let alone ordinary persons. As far as the demons are concerned, if they try to touch you, then my chakra is there, my Sudarshan chakra is there. Do we have the chakra here? Hari Bol. Do we have a chakra here? Sorry, what's the name? Your name, Mama? Thank you. Do you find a chakra here? Yeah. Sudarshan chakra is there. So we find that this is the benefit of surrendering to the Supreme Lord, that you get the protection. And what made the person so glorious is his humility and surrender to the Supreme Lord. We have that well-known verse in Bhagavad Gita which talks about how the Lord reciprocates. Which one says that? Is that the verse? Yeah. Ye yatamam prapadyante tam sataiva bhajamyaham. So Lord reciprocates. And we say that normal in colloquial language, that if you take one step, Lord takes 10 steps. At least 10 steps. Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. So therefore here, Bali Maharaj has surrendered everything. We hesitate to give few dollars. But here we find a king of the universe giving away the entire universe. They had so much of faith, conviction in what they do, in the sense that I have given a promise and that promise needs to be fulfilled. But whereas we are living in a yuga where promises are made to be broken, because our promise has no value. In as much as our life has no value, our promises also have no value. And it's unfortunate that we live in a time when what lips speak is asynchronous with what heart is saying. It's a tragedy. So therefore, you can't believe anyone. The lips are saying something, but in turn the heart is saying something else. These two are not aligned, and therefore you can't have faith, you can't have a trust. And in this environment, Srila Prabhupada has sent us his trusted servants to us, his trusted disciples to us. I may not have trust in anyone, but I can trust my spiritual master. Including devotees, I may have difficulty in trusting them, because Prabhupada says that we have the four issues: to cheat and to be cheated. And when persons are struggling with anartha nivritti itself, so the tendency is always there. So long it is Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, it is Hari Bol. But when we are really put into difficulty, is that the time when I'm able to say Hari Bol from the depth of my heart? And each of us has got our own stories, isn't it? So here we find Bali Maharaj has surrendered himself and Lord has reciprocated. And in previous couple of two verses, I'll repeat the translation, 8:22-4. Although a father, mother, brother, friend may sometimes punish one as a well-wisher, they never punish their subordinates like this. But because you are the most worshipable Lord, I regard the punishment you have given me as most exalted. Can you imagine the consciousness of Bali Maharaj, who is able to say these words when the Lord has taken away in a tricky way? It's not that straight away he took it. In a tricky way, he took away his entire wealth. And yet Bali Maharaj is saying, well, it is still your mercy. What is that verse in Bhagavatam which inspires us to take shelter when especially we are going through the difficulties in life? I'm sure everyone goes through difficulties. It's because that's how the nature is of the material world. What gives us hope? What gives us the conviction that even the difficulties I'm facing is for my benefit? Anyone remembers a verse?
I'm just thinking from Shikshashtakam, if the Lord handles me roughly by his embrace, then it's still a sin. Even if the Lord handles me roughly by his embrace.
Yeah, we can think of that verse. Thank you, Prabhu. But I was thinking some other verse from Bhagavatam. Tatteno kampam susamikshmano. This is a verse we can wear as our kantimala, as a necklace, because that verse tells us that whatever turmoils or difficulties I may be facing, but if I take it as a mercy of the Lord and tolerate it, then I become the inheritor, I'll become the rightful inheritor of the property of the Supreme Lord. So just as when a child is erring, maybe this is from the Indian perspective, they give a smack. Those of us are from with the Indian background, we all have received smacks from our parents. Maybe others, it may not be true. Have you received a smack from your father any time? Yeah, Prabhu. No. But this is the Indian way of giving affection to the child. They do not hesitate to give when it's required to give the punishment. The punishment, it could be a slap on the face or on a bum, a hard hit. It brings us to the reality of life. At that time, if the child thinks that my father is my enemy, which people think these days, and there are reports saying that the child attacks the parent. But at that time, the child thinks that this is also love of my father. This is also affection of my father who is trying to correct me when I'm on the incorrect path. Lord thinks that way. When Mother Yashoda took the stick and then she said that, well, I'm going to bind you, I'm going to hit you, the Lord started fearing Mother Yashoda. So the love of the person makes the consciousness of the Supreme Lord to come to the consciousness of that devotee. At that time, the Lord does not think that He is a Supreme Lord. So the Lord's consciousness shrinks to the level of the devotee, and accordingly He reciprocates. And as parents we do, isn't it? That when your child wants us to play, and if really want to be part of the play, our consciousness should shrink to the consciousness of the baby, so that you are able to effectively play with the baby. Sometimes the baby wins, sometimes you win. But if every time, if you are still thinking that you are a parent, then the baby can never win. So here also we find the Lord's consciousness shrinks so that He comes to the level of the baby, and then He starts having loving exchanges. But if I have that pride, arrogance, then Lord shows His full consciousness. He is there and we are here. And then we have the next verse, 22.5. Since your Lordship is indirectly the greatest well-wisher of us, demons, you act for our best welfare by posing as if our enemy. Because demons like us always aspire for a position of false prestige, by chastising us, you give us the eyes by which to see the right path. So therefore, the Lord knows how to bring about the correction in an erring child. And accordingly, He gives the required. From our perspective, it's a punishment, but from the Lord's perspective, it's a mercy showering to make the correction. And with that correction, we become steady in our Krishna consciousness. So, Lord has got many qualities, and which is that quality which is endearing, which brings out this aspect of the Lord. Because Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu gives 64 qualities of the Lord, or the Lord has got 5 opulences. But of all the qualities we find, there's one quality which we find with which Lord Krishna opens up in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. And we find the similar quality being displayed by the Lord in Bhagavad Gita as well. Sorry? Yeah, Bhaktavatsala. It is the quality of Bhaktavatsala which makes the Lord so dear to the devotees. You can see that Lord Krishna appears in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. The first time He appears, how He is driving the chariot of Arjuna. A Supreme Lord, why should He drive somebody's chariot? Yeah, that's the quality called Bhaktavatsala. Is affection to the devotee. And therefore, whatever is happening as Bali Maharaj is thinking, Ki Jai. So we have, I'll just quote only 1 or 2 verses because there are so many verses in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam which talks about this. One is the Tesham Satata Yuktanam Bhajatam Priti Purvakam Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Ena Mam Upayantite. That Lord gives us the instruction from within the heart itself. Then we have that so therefore there I'm the well-wisher of all the living entities. Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarva Loke Maheshwaram Surudam Sarva Bhutanam Jnatva Mam Shanti Vrichyate. And there is one verse in, there are many verses again in Bhagavatam, 11.16.9, I'll just read the translation. My dear Uddhava, I am the super soul of all living entities and therefore I am naturally their well-wisher and supreme controller. I am naturally their well-wisher. And he shows that quality by traveling with us in every form, wherever we travel in this material world. In whatever may be the external body we have, Lord travels with us as Paramatma and trying to guide us. He's only waiting patiently for us to take a turn towards Him. And the day we take our turn towards Him, our real journey starts. So how much patience Lord is showing for us, eagerly waiting for us to take a turn towards Him. Unlimited. So we find Prabhupada quoting the verse where the two birds on a tree and one bird is eating the fruits of the activity and the other bird is watching, and the day the bird turns towards the Lord or this bird watching, then the journey of Krishna consciousness starts. Then we move to the last verse 36 directly. The Lord assured Bali Maharaj of all protection. Finally, the Lord assured him of protection from the effects of bad association with the demons. So we have that fear that, I may once again fall back into the pool of the consciousness before I came to Krishna consciousness. That anxiety is there, that fear is there. And the Lord is assuring that do not be worried. Because Lord has said to Bali Maharaj that you will be living in Sutala planet, which is considered to be even more opulent than the planets of the Devatas, but he is going to live with his relatives, who are all demons. And therefore there's a possibility that Bali Maharaj's consciousness may drift down. But the Lord assures him, well, that will not happen. Don't worry. I'm there. The Supreme Power of God therefore assured him that his demonic mentality would be annihilated by the Lord, will be annihilated. In other words, by the association of devotees, the demonic mentality is vanquished. So this is why we need to live in the association of devotees. Just as a person who drinks alcohol needs the association of other drinkers or drunkards, if you want, or someone who's playing cards wants the association of others who play cards. Equally, devotees need the association of devotees. And this is our assurance. So therefore, Prabhupada quotes the famous verse from Bhagavatam, Satam prasangam mama virya samvido bhavanti hrutkarna rasayana kata. That in the association of pure devotees, a discussion of the pastimes and activities of the Supreme Person of Godhead is very pleasing and satisfying to the ear and the heart. By cultivating such knowledge, one gradually becomes advanced on the path of liberation, and thereafter he is freed and the attraction becomes fixed. The real devotion and devotional service begin. So therefore, when we say that the association of devotees, it means that it is the discussion of Krishna Katha. That's what is meant by the association. It's not when two devotees meet once again you talk about cricket match, or you talk about the war happening, or you talk about the politics. That may be for a quick moment because we have that bad habits, but quickly we move into Krishna consciousness, the Krishna Katha. And this is the quickest way of becoming this is the quickest way of returning back home, back to Godhead. Bhagavad Gita, the first 6 chapters, Krishna talks about the gradual path, the yoga ladder. From Sakama Karma Yoga to Nikshkama Karma Yoga to the Jnana Yoga, then the Ashtanga Yoga, and finally to the Bhakti Yoga. So that's a gradual process. And people may be stuck on a platform for just not one lifetime, but for multiple lifetimes before reaching the platform of the devotional Bhakti Yoga. But Vedic literature equally gives us mercy of Gaur-Nitai. We have the quick process, which Prabhupada says that why do you want to take the steps to reach the 100th floor? You can hop into the lift and zoom to 100th floor straight away without any hurdle. And the process as part of the process is the association of devotees. You remain in that association and participate in the activities of Krishna consciousness. So therefore Prabhupada says, don't jump out of the boat of Krishna consciousness, even if the boat is tossing up and down. Remain in that boat, then you'll reach the destiny. Like in Mumbai, you don't have to make an effort to get into the train. Just remain on the platform. You are pushed into the train at the time when you want to hop into the train, and you want to come out of the bogie. You just have to remain there, and gradually you are pushed out. So equally, we are taken back to the Godhead by the association of devotees. Yeah, I think today is the auspicious day of Rath Yatra, and I thought that yesterday Bhakta Prabhu spoke elaborately on Rath Yatra. We'll only not repeat what Bhakta Prabhu has said. We'll take only a few elements of the Rath Yatra. From, I think that's the reason I brought this book, the Great Transcendental Adventure. I'm sure all of you have read this book. Can I take that? No? Okay. In this book, it talks on the page Rath Yatra. I thought I entered the page number. Page number Melbourne 209. It's a wonderful book, and one should read this book. It's by Kurmada, the Great Transcendental Adventure, Pastimes of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada in Australia and New Zealand. Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladeva. So here it talks about the The first Rath Yatra was held on 17th July 1972 in Melbourne. 17th of July 1972. So we are in Feb 2025. So how many Rath Yatras have taken place since then? I'm not sure in the beginning whether every year the Rath Yatra took place or not, but the first Rath Yatra took place on 17th July 1972. And in one place, it is said that Lord Jagannath is so merciful that he gives blessings to even mlechas. That's an interesting word, yavanas and mlechas. So I was thinking, how is a mlecha defined from a Vedic perspective? One definition is said that a mlecha is a person who does not fall into any of the four categories of varnashrama dharma. Neither he is a kshatriya, nor is he a brahmana, nor is he a shudra, nor is he a vaishya. So he is someone who is outside the varnashrama dharma itself. And is said that a person who is a meat eater. But I wanted to find out what is the technical definition of mlecha and is it given anywhere. So I found that the definition of mlecha appearing in, I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with these magazines. These are the magazines from the Geo publication. And has anyone touched any of these magazines before? These magazines are well thought out, research by, I think Madhavananda Prabhu is the editor from the Geo publication. He is the disciple of His Holiness Gaur Govind Maharaj. And I think they brought out a couple of such magazines, well researched, and they spent a lot of time in briefing before bringing out a magazine. And few copies are available still in Vrindavan when you go there. I found these magazines only in Vrindavan. So there I was trying to find out what is the definition of a mlecha. Because Lord Jagannath is so merciful that he gives his blessings to even mlechas and yavana. That's what it is said. So it is said that mlecha means non-Vedic and barbarian. It is a term for people who did not conform with the moral and religious norms of the Vedic society as described in the following. Guru dhara prasakteshu tiryag yoni gatesu cha pasu dharmeshu papeshu mlecheshu prabhavishyasi. Those who are attached to the wives of their gurus, those who engage in anal sex or sex with animals, those who have sinful habits or those who have characteristics similar to animals are to be known as mlechas. This is a definition taken from Mahabharata 1.7.79.13. And I thought, what a harsh definition of a mlecha. We think that mlecha is just a simple word, but this is the definition of a mlecha given in Vedic literature. And then we find that the quoting from Bhakti Sandarbha, Bhaktir astak vidha hi esha yasmin mlechapi vartate sa viprendro muni srestha sa jnani sacha panditaha. Even if one is born a mlecha, if he becomes a devotee, he is to be considered the best of the Brahmins and a learned Pandit. Garuda Purana cited by Jiva Goswami in Bhakti Sandarbha. So on one side, we find a very harsh definition, Lord Jagannath ki Jai, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. So that is the hard definition given for a mlecha, but even such a mlecha has the potential to become the highest quality of a person in this world by becoming a devotee. And the Lord assures that such a person can return back home, back to Godhead. And so here we find on page 208, Deepak is the Prabhu, and he is saying that one grey overcast day, I was out driving when I came upon an old sawmill. He saw an old sawmill. There I saw a huge seasoned log of hardwood lying on the ground. I purchased it and had it cut into 3 pieces, then drove them back to the newly acquired Hare Krishna shop in Little Lonsdale Street and set them up in the chilly loft. The Lord had come to Melbourne. So you can imagine that a hardwood found in a sawmill by Deepak Prabhu, and he said, well, this is suitable for to take the form of Lord Jagannath, and thus the arrival of, or the manifestation of Lord Jagannath Baladev Subhadramaya. Then Dvaipayana, I had a desire and one day it was fulfilled. Vaibhavi asked me if I would like to help carve Lord Jagannath. I was thrilled and honored. Deepak came back from the sawmill with 3 logs and we carried them upstairs to an area partitioned off from the mighty Apollo Gymnasium. We started with a chainsaw and then continued with hand tools. Deepak carved Lord Balrama and I carved Subhadra and Jagannath. Finally, Nartaki painted them. So this is how Lord Jagannath Baladev Subhadramaya manifested in Melbourne Mahaprabhu Mandir. Deepak Prabhu is saying, I remember daily entering the freezing loft. There was such a holy atmosphere. Each morning we would come and offer our obeisance to the unfinished deities and then commence our work. It had such a powerful effect on us. To this very day, I have a deep attraction to Lord Jagannath. So just a piece of wood, if you want to say, from the sawmill, he brought, cut them into 3 pieces, and the journey started for him, deepening his Krishna consciousness. So that's 1972. Despite an uneasy relationship with the devotee, the reluctant Melbourne City Council had granted permits for the noontime parade. To attract crowds to the starting point, 2 devotee couples were married at an authentic Vedic ceremony in the city square that morning. The event, as well as joining the couples together in holy matrimony, had also succeeded in drawing even larger crowds to the busy city square, a focal point for the festival. So this is how the first Rath Yatra took place. Then the second Rath Yatra, so there it is said that even unknown people who were not devotees would come and help in shaping the Lord Jagannath Baladev Subhadramaya. In whatever way it's possible, they would help. And it said that once such drunkard, he was holding the lantern deep for devotees to carve out Lord Jagannath Baladev Subhadramaya. And for that service, the person became a devotee. So we find that recently the Kumbh Mela took place. Has anyone been to Kumbh Mela? Did anyone have a chance to take a dip? Kumbh Mela, as you know, that it's a Trisangam where the 3 holy rivers meet. And it's possible, very few have the opportunity from here to have participated or taken a dip. One of our friends is named devotee Asidaradya Prabhu recently sent a message saying that just as the Trisangam, where people have gone to take a dip to get purified, similarly, ISKCON offers a Trisangam in the form of books, prasadam, and service. And having Bhagavad Gita on your shelter, on a shelf, and then reading is like taking a dip in Ganga. So therefore, do not be worried if one has not taken or attended Kumbh Mela, because that purifying system Prabhupada has given to us in terms of prasadam, in terms of books, and in terms of service. And today is a great opportunity for all of us to participate in this transcendental activity. As yesterday Bhakta Prabhu was saying, it is an opportunity to give to everyone to pull the transcendental chariot. Please try to help others so that that touch by the person who has never seen Lord Jagannath Baladev Subhadramaya, that rope is not an ordinary rope, it's a transcendental rope. There's no difference between the Lord and his paraphernalia. So by allowing or facilitating even anyone on the road there when the cart is moving to touch the rope or hear the transcendental sound vibration, you are making or giving an opportunity to the person to start the journey of Krishna consciousness. As we know that everyone is a devotee. It is not that someone is not a devotee and someone is a devotee. Everyone is a devotee. It only depends on the to what extent that layer of dust has been removed. And we can see the example of Dhruva Maharaj, that he was insulted by his stepmother when Dhruva was not a devotee. But then, because of that insult to Dhruva Maharaj by stepmother, as we know from Bhagavatam, she had a horrible departure from this planet. So therefore, never think that, oh, this is a devotee and this is not a devotee. Everyone is a devotee. It's only that that person, unfortunately, has not come into contact with a devotee, and therefore the uncovering has not started. Somehow, Krishna made the arrangement for us. Somehow we received the fortune of receiving the association, and therefore our uncovering has already started. So today, give this opportunity to every person there. Even if somebody is on the side path, on the path, you just try gently ask the person to come and touch the devotees, touch the rope, hear the transcendental sound vibration, so that the person's journey on this path starts. And who knows, somebody, maybe the journey may start today, but the person can go faster than those who are already there, because we do not know somebody's past. And Lord Jagannath is a Patita Pavan. And anyone knows what's the meaning of Patita Pavan? Yeah, deliverer of the fallen. But there's an interesting, once again, in this magazine, who is a Patita Pavan? This is the most merciful Lord, Lord Jagannath. And here the definition of the Patita Pavan is given. It says, the Sanskrit phrase Patita Pavan is often used to describe the Lord or his devotees. It indicates who is the purifier or savior of the fallen. Calling out to the Lord or his devotee using this appellation is done in the mood of extreme humility. That is Dhainya Bhav. When someone strongly aspires for the Lord's mercy, but simultaneously considers that he or she is hopelessly unqualified to obtain it, there will naturally be an intense crying in the heart that quickly attracts the attention of the most merciful Lord. Srila Thakur Bhaktivedanta has described this reciprocation in Sri Harinam Chintamani 11.56. Amita adhama tumi adhama tarana ubhaye sambandha e patita pavana. I am certainly the lowest and you are the deliverer of the lowest. O patita pavana, this is our relationship. So this is our relationship with the Supreme Lord. In the same, we explore the connection between the Lord and the merciful devotees and those devotees who in identifying themselves was being in a fallen condition are crying out for the Lord's mercy. So this is how the Patita Pavana is described, and there is, how many of you have been to Puri, Jagannath temple? So before you actually enter into the altar, on the outside there is the form of Patita Pavan Jagannath. And that Patita Pavan Jagannath is not the deity on the altar, but outside. And that Patita Pavan Jagannath is not made of wood, is made of some, it is said, he is made up of the body of the Patita Pavana deity. Patita Pavana is a unique deity in that he is not carved from wood as the deities in the temple are. He is made of combination of frankincense, sandalwood paste, natural camphor, resin, scented oils from the agaru and chia plant and chu plants, and fragrance musk coming from a gland on the Himalayan musk deer. So this is Patita Pavan. Yeah, this is amazing. And what is interesting is that people deem the Supreme Lord in different ways, or different persons think Patita Pavan Jagannath in different, I thought, some people think that Lord Jagannath is Lord Shiva. Some people think that Lord Jagannath is Lord Ganesh. Some people think that Lord Jagannath is the impersonal manifestation of the Lord. And even Christians and Muslims take Lord Jagannath to be their Lord in their own way. And this is how Lord Jagannath showers his mercy on everyone. I thought I had that, yeah. At the beginning of the festival, Shankaracharya of Puri performs a special worship of the Lord on the chariot. His conception is that Jagannath is a manifestation of the impersonal Brahman. Looking around, one will find pilgrims from a large variety of sects. You will see Ramanandi Vaishnavas who consider Jagannath to be a form of Lord Ramachandra. There are groups of Vaishnavas attending who consider Jagannath to be a form of Lord Narsimhadev. Then we find there are also Ramanuja and Madhva devotees who see him as Narayan, while others such as members of the Nimbarka and Gaudiya Sampradaya regard him as Sri Krishna. In attendance are Shaivates, so who are all participating in Puri Jagannath festival, Rath Yatra. In attendance are Shaivates, devotees of Lord Shiva, who consider Jagannath to be a form of Lord Shiva. Some devotees identify him with their worshipable Ganesh. In Orissa, there are even some Christians and followers of Islam who support the worship of Lord Jagannath. It's also a tradition for various politicians and movie stars to attend Rath Yatra. And what is their conception? Many of them see him as a cultural symbol of traditional India. So you can see that persons of different backgrounds, they try to attend Rath Yatra with different conceptions about the Lord, but everyone receives the mercy of the Supreme Lord. And the greatest mercy one can think, one would not think that Lord has showered is, can you believe that he has showered his blessings on Aurangzeb of all the people? I'm not sure whether I brought that article or not, on Aurangzeb, because Aurangzeb is a person who tries to demolish Puri Jagannath temple, because he had demolished many temples and he was planning to demolish Lord Jagannath temple also, but he failed to demolish Lord Jagannath's temple, and ultimately he received the blessings of Lord Jagannath. And therefore, we go back to the definition of mlechas. That doesn't matter what the background is. Lord Jagannath is Patita Pavan. He is willing to shower his mercy, and therefore let us make an attempt to facilitate that mercy to every person who is coming today to the festival. Lord Jagannath ki jai, Lord Balram ki jai, Mother Subhadra Devi ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grandhara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai. Yeah, any questions or any comments? Yes, Prabhu.
Do you want to tell us the person who owned the wood in that
Yeah, his name is Deepak. That is not, I think we'll have to check elsewhere. Yeah, he was in Melbourne. You should be able to tell us if you were there at that time. Okay, we were, 1972, we were not there. Yeah, any other question or a comment? Yes, Prabhu.
Early part of the class, you were speaking about Anukarana and Anusharana.
Yeah.
Just regards to like, it's not a process of imitation, however it is following. So could you just explain that a little bit, go into a bit more detail of the difference between imitation, why we don't imitate, and what's the purpose of following?
Yeah. Imitation, if you have heard this word, nakli, Hindi, we say nakli. Nakli is that you have the original saffron. I think if you work in the kitchen, you find the saffron, but saffron is very expensive, so therefore you use color, artificial colors. That artificial color is nakli, or that is the anukarana, that you are trying to imitate. I'm trying to imitate Srila Prabhupada, I'm trying to imitate my Gurudev, I'm trying to imitate other Vaishnavas. What they do, I'll also do. Prabhupada called people rascal, therefore I'm sitting on Vyasasana, I'll also call people rascal. Prabhupada can do it. We should not be doing it. Somebody can chastise, Gurudev can chastise his disciples. That does not mean that I take the role of my Gurudev and then chastise my God brothers and God sisters. I may be senior, maybe having grey hair, but that does not mean that I take the role of a spiritual master and try to whip my God brothers and God sisters. Or for that matter, anywhere in the congregation. I'm coming here, like Mahatma Prabhu, such a senior devotee here. You may say, well, I'm the senior most devotee coming to Melbourne Mahaprabhu Mandir last 35, 40 years, and therefore I can chastise everyone. I cannot behave like Bhaktivedanta Thakur. I should not behave like Prabhupada. Or we can say that imitations are like sahajiyas. Classical example, sahajiyas. They, because Rupa Goswami and other Vaishnavas, they did not behave as sahajiya, but they were internally, they were in consciousness with the Supreme Lord or in the past time, but externally they would behave like a devotee. But sahajiyas, they behave externally as if they are highly qualified, purified devotee, and therefore they perform activities which are not aligned, which are not conducive for Krishna consciousness. So people tend to wear, a man trying to wear sari and putting on rings and say that, well, I am a gopi, and therefore wants to behave like a gopi. We hear that sometimes spiritual master kicks his disciples. This is a transcendental kick. These are all imitations. Whereas following is that we follow the instruction of a spiritual master. And for all of us, Srila Prabhupada has given the general instruction for everyone. Therefore, he is the Founder-Acharya for ISKCON forever. And what is the instruction Prabhupada has given to everyone? Chant 16 rounds, or chant constantly, but at least attentive chanting of 16 rounds. Attend Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, live in the association of devotees, share or distribute books. This is the general instruction for all the devotees, and this is actually our business. If you have been to Bombay, that the grandfather was selling boxes, the father sells the boxes, and the son also selling boxes, and the grandchild tomorrow also will sell only the boxes, because that is a parampara, lineage. And our lineage is what Prabhupada said, that whatever mercy we have received, distribute that mercy to others, so that you increase the reception of your own mercy. Don't be kanjush or don't be kripana. Distribute it. So following the instruction is anusarana, following, whereas anukarana is imitating. Don't imitate. Does that make sense, Prabhu?
Perfect.
Hare Krishna. Any other question, comment? Imitation and duplication is Control C and Control V, Mataji. Sorry? Duplication is Control C and Control V, I said. Copy. Sorry? Poundraka. Yeah, he is imitating Poundraka. He said that I am Lord Vishnu and therefore I have my chakra, I have my gada and everyone should worship me. Or in Bhagavatam, who is that king? He tried to imitate that I am the Supreme Lord, so therefore Brahmanas have to kill him with King Vena. A practical example, we can see that Elon Musk is thinking that he is the President of America. He is behaving like a president. He is imitating. Or in India, we had political parties where the person is not a PM but behaves like a PM. Yeah, so many examples can be taken. Any other question or comment? It's 9:05. Okay, Gandhara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Vanchakalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo.